welcome back to my channel. My name is Cassie Rose, and my channel is here to provide you with the practical tools that you need to pursue your passion, and I hope that you enjoy this channel. If you have not already, please subscribe down below and then click the little notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a new video. And if you, well, I'm not going to ask you to like the video yet because you haven't seen it, so let's just get into it. This video is going to be less of the practical tools and actually just for you to get to know me a little bit better. I haven't been making videos for the last few months. I just started up a few weeks ago again because I had to take a break to build up my business. I created a company called Dwen-Day, which means a heightened sense of passion, and my company provides resources to people to create room for these, for your passion, for your purpose in life. And I am someone who genuinely believes that we're not made for a purpose, but we get to live on purpose. And I want to help people live on purpose for whatever it is that you're passionate about through self-discipline and productivity. Today, I want to get to know you guys a little bit better by sharing a bit about myself. And as I'm going through this, please feel free to comment down below. I'm going to go through this book and I'm going to pull out 10 random questions and I'm going to answer them. My friend Kat gave me this specifically for my YouTube videos in case I ever wanted to answer questions, and so I'm going to use it today. And as I'm going through it, please pick a question and answer it down below so that I can get to know you. Or if you want to answer multiple questions, answer multiple questions. I would love to get to know you guys as well. I have a lot of followers on here that I've never met before, and I have a lot of followers who are a bit newer, so maybe you don't know me so well and you want to wonder, or you want to learn more about me. We're gonna do that. So we're gonna go ahead and get on into this video right now. Okay, so I'm going to choose, I'm just gonna open it and choose a question. Okay, the question is, who is your favorite comedian? And I'm gonna answer these in detail because I know no other way to answer a question. I'm personally not that into comedians. However, on Netflix, I did see a comedy special by Eliza. I don't remember her last name, but the comedy special that I saw first was called The Elder Millennial. And if you haven't seen that, go on Netflix and look it up because, oh my goodness, I died the entire time. I was crying laughing. I thought it was so funny. I thought she was so funny, and I think that that one is my favorite of hers. So Eliza something, who goes by The Elder Millennial in this specific comedy special, I thought she was so funny. But I really don't watch a lot of comedians because personally, I don't like crude humor, I don't like sexual humor, and I don't like a lot of cussing. So as you can tell, it can be difficult to watch comedy because a lot of people capitalize on sexual humor and I just don't find it very funny. So, but that one was pretty funny. Okay. Question number 2. Have you ever been bungee jumping? If not, do you want to? I do want to go bungee jumping. I have been skydiving, but I've never been bungee jumping. And skydiving was absolutely incredible. So I definitely would want to go bungee jumping. I am in no way, shape, or form afraid of heights. I love heights, and I love that feeling that you get when your stomach kind of drops, like when you're on a roller coaster or anything like that. So I definitely would want to go bungee jumping. My favorite ride at the Santa Cruz Boardwalk and at Great America are the double shot and drop zone, the tower that you sit in and takes you up and it drops you down. I love those rides. Or like Tower of Terror or the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Love, love, love the sensation of falling. So yes, I would absolutely want to go bungee jumping. Question number 3. Would you ever go on strike if you felt your employer wasn't treating you fairly? Interesting question. Thank you for asking. But you didn't. Nobody asked, but the book did. So, I think if I was at a job, a part of a union, and the union decided to go on strike, well, yeah, because I'm a part of the union. So, of course I would. But personally, I think rather than going on strike, I am the type of person who would quit and find a better job, or just rough it until I was able to find a better job. Not because I have anything against going on strike. I just think that sometimes doors close and other ones open, and there's always a time to fight for what you really want in life. And if that job is what I wanted, I'd be willing to, but I am not necessarily personally inclined to do that. I would probably just rough it until I was able to get a job that I was in, knew had better circumstances. If that makes sense. So if I had to guess. Question number 4. Do you think society has become too PC, politically correct? Ooh, juicy question. Yeah, I do. I definitely think that the world has become a much more sensitive place than it was 10 or 20 years ago. I also think that the world has a lot more issues than it did 10 or 20 years ago, or at least people are talking about them more. Homosexuality, racial issues, abortion, a lot of these topics are really heavy, and they existed a long time ago, but now the thing that I think is too politically correct is that our society is no longer able to have conversations about anything. Now, another person could think very differently from me, and I have no issue with them saying what they feel about anything. What's valuable to me and what worries me about the PC parts of our society is that we're no longer able to have conversations, and that polarizes our country way more than it used to be. And I'm not going to tell you any of my political thoughts or affiliations because it doesn't matter. That's not the point of this video. But I think that we need to be able to have conversations way more than we are about our different views, so we can all become a little more moderate and understand each other. That doesn't mean that you have to change your ideas or your values. I think that if people have values ingrained in them, you should be firm in that. But we should be able to listen to other people and just be like, okay, we're different. We think differently. Now, does that come into play when it is hurtful or offensive to other people? No, we definitely need to have some sort of boundaries with our opinions where we're not willing to inflict pain and turmoil on other people. That is where being PC does kind of come into play. But I definitely think that we have become very easily offended when maybe the person offending us didn't mean to, or maybe they didn't understand, or maybe it came out the wrong way, or they had a bad day. This need for everything to come out perfectly and never offend anyone gets rid of room for error in our humanity, and that is hard because people are imperfect. They say stuff that they didn't mean, or they have opinions that aren't fully formulated, or maybe they have a lack of information, or maybe they have a lot of information and they even have more than I do. And I'm judging them for their opinions when I'm not fully informed. So that's hard. I think that our need for a PC world is getting rid of our ability to have candid conversations. That was a really deep question. I wonder if number 5 will be a little more simple. Whom do you seek most for advice? Whom do I seek most for advice? I have some friends that are older than me, and 100% those are the people that I seek most for advice. I have mentors and people like way ahead of me that I don't really go to for advice that often because there's this fear almost, and it's natural. People have fear when it comes to asking people for advice and being vulnerable, but I have a couple of friends who are like older sisters to me. My friend Noelia is number 1 on my list for people that I go to when I need advice, because she is the type of person who I can be 100% myself with without any sort of fear or disguise to mask the mistakes that I may have made or the issues I'm struggling with. So those older sister type of people are the ones that I go to all of the time for words of encouragement and for advice. Way more than I go to friends that are my age, because some friends that are my age, they can be really reassuring and empathetic, but when it comes to giving me something practical to actually work off of in a way that doesn't feel condescending or anything like that, I just think that someone a little bit older is always who I'm inclined to go to more often than not. And besides that, my mom because she is one of my best friends. And so I definitely go to my mom for almost anything. Like I will tell my mom anything in my life, with my boyfriend, with my friends, with whoever. Like I'll tell my mom anything because I feel safe. So safe people, you know, and defining who those safe people are has helped me really define who I would go to for advice. Number 6. What wild animal scares you? Anybody knows me, I love animals, and I'm really not scared of any animal. I mean, I definitely would be afraid of any animal that could maul me to death in the woods, because I'll go to the forest a lot. I like hiking. So maybe like a bear or a mountain lion or what are they? We have coyotes. I think that's what we have in the hills here. So something like that, you know. Nothing in zoos, if I just see an animal and it's in no shape or form going to hurt me, I am never scared of animals. I love animals. But yeah, I think I'd be pretty scared of being mauled to death by a bear in the forest. Tell me down below, what animal scares you? Pause it, and go tell me right now. What animal scares you? Okay, number 7. Oh, what is your Myers-Briggs personality type? Wow, I love this question because I love personality tests. Can you tell? I love personality tests. And I'll actually answer this and a couple of other personality tests while we're on the question, because I think that is very clear to define. So my Myers-Briggs is ESTJ, and that's extroverted, sensing. Sensing means that I make decisions based on my 5 senses, what I can see, smell, taste, hear. You know, I am very much aware of my surroundings, and I make decisions based off of what I can tangibly grasp. Thinking means I usually just say what I think. You know, I don't stop to consider other people's feelings. I am not the most sympathetic, mercy-filled person. I'm very aware of this. So I'm a thinker for sure. And then judging. I come into situations and I judge what needs to be done and I take action. I'm not a perceiving person. I don't sit and wait to formulate more. I really just think and then judge and then act. So I'm an ESTJ. In the Enneagram, I am a 1-wing 2, completely quintessential 1-wing 2, very cut and dry. And I have taken spiritual gifting tests as well, and my top 4 spiritual giftings are administration, leadership, prophecy, and giving. So those are my top 4 spiritual gifts. My bottom spiritual gift is mercy, as I said before. I'm not the most compassionate person. I have trained myself to be. Okay, number 8. What's harder today than it was yesterday? I don't know if this is talking like physically, mentally, emotionally. Definitely physical stuff is harder today than it was yesterday. I've gone through a lot of physical issues. I have Hashimoto's disease, and my knees have worse issues today than they did yesterday. My knees are very much not happy with me. Mentally, emotionally, I think I've gotten a lot better in those areas. So probably physically, I've had issues that are harder today than they were yesterday, especially with my knees. Okay. Number 9. What is one thing you wish you could change about your family? I really do have one thing that I wish I could change about my family, and I just wish that we would have all decided to like each other a lot sooner. I grew up having a lot of contention with my brother and with my parents, bless my mom, but like we just were not always the happiest, and I honestly think that changed when we all just decided to think the best of each other. So I would probably change that. I would change and make us so that we think the best of each other first, and that we would have done that way earlier in life, because now that I'm 23, I get along with my family really, really well, like so well, but I didn't always, and I wish that I had been able to just think the best of them sooner and really expect the best of them. And that we all would have done that for each other. Okay, one more question. Question number 10. This is the last one. And we're going to pick this one. What was your favorite subject in school? My favorite subject in school was always history. I loved history, partly because I always had really amazing history teachers who made the topic very, very interesting. But I also have always loved learning about the past of the world. And this is probably weird to say, but my favorite topic in like world history was always the Holocaust. Probably because it's the most heartbreaking. I don't know why I like having my heart broken a million times, but I love reading Holocaust memoirs and biographies from people who survived or from Nazis who, you know, changed their ways and things like that. I just think it's so interesting. And we're getting to the point where, you know, the last few people who were actually there and present during the Holocaust are going to be dying, especially, you know, Jewish people who have survived at concentration camps and Nazis who experienced that. They're going to be gone from the earth very soon. So this is kind of the last time that we will have their firsthand experience. And so I think that history is just so interesting because we're living it right now, and then it's going to be gone. So we can learn from our mistakes as a world and as a nation. And I just think that that's a really big privilege. Tell me down below, leave a comment answering what your favorite subject in school was, or any of these other questions that you would like to answer. I want you guys to get to know me, but I also want to get to know you because I want to form a community here. As I said in the beginning, this channel exists to help you find practical tools so that you can pursue your passion in life, and I want to help you guys with that. And so I hope that you enjoyed this video, getting to know me a little bit. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a new video. And I post a new video every week, so I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye.